Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, whatever time of the day it is, no matter where you are in the world, I hope you are having an amazing day today. My name is Lex, and welcome back to some more GTA 5, where today we are going to be checking out another real-life actual car. None of this lore-friendly stuff today, although I will say that there are some cool new mods that have come out recently that I'm definitely going to be checking very soon. But actually, I've probably taken a break from doing the lore-friendly mods at a very wrong time because there's been some really cool stuff coming out lately. But never mind, because this mod is incredibly detailed. There are a huge, I'm trying to think of a word that's bigger than huge, a ginormous, gigantic, hunormous, whatever sort of combination of words you can think of that describes something being incredibly big. It has a lot of, or humongous, gigantic amount of mods. That was where I was trying to get with that whole sentence. I really feel like I've wasted my time. But anyway, this is an incredibly detailed car, and it's Japanese, which is a nice little moving away from the Impala that we did recently, because as much as I like American cars, Japanese cars are best. And that is why today I have an AE86 Levin Kuki, I believe. I think this is the Kuki Coupe model. Now, I wouldn't say this is my favorite top all-time model of this. I'm still going to say that the Coupe is my favorite, but I just much prefer the Trueno, or the Trueno, however you're going to say that, front end. Let's just get to the front end of this. The Levin one's alright, but I want pop-up headlights. Everyone needs pop-up headlights in their life. I still haven't had a car with pop-up headlights, and I think that's probably why I really just want to get a Trueno. But it doesn't matter, because this is still an awesome looking car, and there are, as I've mentioned, an incredible amount of mods for this thing. Definitely one of the most detailed car mods I have seen for GTA 5. But before we get into jumping in and building a couple of amazing AE86s, there are going to be some comments on the screen. These are comments featured from the previous video. If you would like your comments featured, you can leave them in the comment section below. I'll pick some at random and feature them at the start of the next video. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter at Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description below. Now, I was hoping by the end of me saying that I was going to be off the highway, but actually, almost, and now we're off the highway. Okay, I need to find somewhere to pull in. Okay, here she is in all her glory, although it's a bit smashed up. Hang on, there we go, that's better. Here she is in all her glory. This right here is, of course, an AE86 Toyota Corolla Levin Coupe version with the Kuki rear. I don't know if it's just the rear that was changed in the Kuki, or whether there was something else that went on the front that changed. But I believe from this rear end and these lights, because I think the Zenki one didn't have like the little reverse light sticking out. It was mostly just a square light thing, but I'm sure I'm wrong again, as usual, and you're going to correct me in the comments. So just go ahead and correct me and have a go at me for being wrong if I'm wrong. Although, please be nice. So, this is the outside, looking really nice. The interior, as you may notice, Michael is driving on the right. This is a right-hand drive car, as it should be. Of course, although they did sell these in America with gigantic, horrible-looking bumpers, right-hand drive is where it's at. The interior, looking pretty much like what you'd expect in an AE86. There are no dials, though. I'm not sure whether this is a mistake that I have made in my installation, but there doesn't seem to be dials for this thing. But everything else looks pretty much as it should be. Although, look, it's got Trueno floor mats, so uh-oh, they've taken those out of a Trueno and put them in a Levin. Oh, they're probably just the same thing, but it says Trueno. Actually, I've got to say, now that I'm looking in this thing, because I haven't really familiarized myself with the interior of one of these, because I've never really been in one. I've probably only seen one like a couple of times in my entire life have I ever seen an AE86. I didn't realize that this was probably made around the same time as the Toyota MR2 AW11. This bit right here is totally out of an AW11. They look identical. And actually, this whole sloped bit looks quite similar. In fact, this bit looks similar, although the one in the AW11 had some different switches going on there. But it does look quite similar, but they are from the same sort of era, so that makes sense. So moving on to what's under the hood and under the boot lid, well, the boot's pretty boring. Just standard empty boot with some carpet in there, but it's nice and textured, which is cool. Really like that. And then on the front, get a load of this. This is a full-on 3D engine. Look at that. Even got all the stamping going on here. This is something that I don't really pay attention to, but there's all sorts of panel stamping going on here. That is some good detail. I really like that. Okay, this is a 4AGE by the looks of things, with independent throttle bodies on the side. But if you may notice, this does sound like the Sultan RS. It does sound like a Subaru Impreza. But we can change the sound of the engine using menus mods, so I'm definitely going to be changing that in a second. And I've just noticed this. Go on here. Oh, look, there we go. Look, the 4AGEU engine. A86, was that an 0262? There's a... I don't know. That's quite hard to see. There seems to be a stamping, and then, like, the textures also repeated itself in a weird way. I'm not sure it was supposed to have done that. There you go. It's the 2X1 colour in GH21. How about that? It's even got all the detail from that on it. That's pretty cool. And also, apparently, we have no suspension whatsoever. It's just not there. Where's the suspension gone? Right, so let's get on and actually modify this thing. And, of course, if I just jump out and you have a listen... This does indeed sound like the Sultan RS, and it's an engine sound that just does not suit this car one bit. I need to find something that suits this car a lot better, because this engine, as nice as it sounds, is annoying me with this car. Okay, I've gone through probably half the collection of cars in this entire game, and I've gone through the section that I didn't think I was going to find the right car sound, but apparently the Monroe has the perfect sound. Let's just listen to this. That is absolutely perfect. I don't know why the Monroe sounds like that, but I'd say this sound suits the car absolutely perfectly. So now that's over and done with, let's get into the actual car, because there are stupid amounts of things to do. As you can see, look, in the lowrider mod section, there is all this to check out right here, including different liveries, and then we have all of this going on for stuff to do on the outside. This is going to be an incredibly long video, so let's just get into this. So let's start with spoilers. We have 24 different spoilers to select. Oh my god. Okay, we have the stock spoiler. We have stock painted. Apparently that was the stock spoiler of that. That's a nice little spoiler. I like that already. I don't know whether... I think that, well, actually, I think in usual style, it's going to be like crazy one first, then the one that I would have in real life second. I think that's how we're going to do it, so I'll leave that, but I might go back to that one, because that's quite nice. So next up, we have the KPGC10 style spoiler, which, that name sounds really familiar. Why does it make me think of a Hakosuka Skyline? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it's from. Maybe that's a Skyline spoiler for some reason. Then we have the N2 style lit primary. Oh, that's nice. That I can get behind. For an extreme look for an A86, that's the sort of thing I can get behind. I'm always a big fan of ducktail spoilers. Then we have this one, which is the same bit in the secondary colour. I mean, both these colours for me are the same right now, so we're not going to be noticing a difference. Then we have this ducktail right here, which is alright. I mean, I'm not really totally into the riveted spoiler look, but that's quite nice. Then we have the Urus drag wing. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I do like drag wings as well. And then we have the same in the secondary colour. Actually, it's slightly different as well. Secondary colour, also bracing. I'd say the bracing one looks cooler as well. Then we have this drag wing. It's a very similar style, but it seems to be in aluminium. Then we have the big ducktail. What the hell? This is like some Bosozoku style stuff right here. Oh my god, that's insane. Then we have the 326 power wing. I assume this is all based on stuff in real life, especially as I notice C West, CF Origin, Doluk, all that sort of stuff, so this must be all stuff from real life. C West wing, right here, good god, look at the size of that. The Origin Lab GT wing, oh, that's, I mean, these aren't really, again, I think I've said this before, I don't really have like an eye for this sort of spoiler. They all look the same to me, and they all look kind of weird, but if I was in real life and I saw one of these on something that like really properly suited it, maybe I'll think like that's cool, but whenever I look at these in the game, I always just think they look a bit stupid. And then we have this one. I mean, if you're actually talking about like an actual proper race car, then obviously I'd understand it. This is the Doluk wing. Very interesting shape. Then we have the low version. Good God, look at that. That is just... That's too much. That's just too much. Then we have the big Country Labs wing. That thing is massive. The BCL wing and Aerowolf USA end plates. Good, the detail in this is astounding. Then we have the BCL wing no end plates. Wow. Okay, even slightly changed the size and stuff. They're not as simple as just taking the end plates off. Then we have the low version. Oh my god. It's just insane. The silhouette wing, which, actually, I'm going to say that's uglier than all the other ones so far. The Bosuzoku wing, okay. Wow, that's... Are they always supposed to be that thin? I don't think this is a car that's going to suit Bosuzoku style. And then we have time attack wing and plate mounted wing. Actually, I quite like that. I quite like this sort of like back mounted wings for some reason. Oh man, what should I go for? I mean, I'm very tempted by this Bosuzoku wing because I feel like if that's there might be more to it. But I think what I might do is go for the big ducktail. Although it's very big, actually, oh, come on, let's go for the smaller ducktail, shall we? Let's go for the primary, or yeah, let's go for that one, the N2 style lip primary colour. Then on the front bumpers, we have 16 options. We have the stock, we have the Zenki lip. Ah, okay. Oh, maybe this is a whole Zenki and I've just sounded like a complete idiot with the kooky thing. Oh man, I never know. I always try to look these things up and then I always get it wrong. The N2 lip plastic, that's alright. It's, yeah. Then we have the N2 lip, which is better, but I'm not really into that whole riveted style thing. We have this one, which gets rid of the lights and the grille, which is quite an interesting... Actually, from the distance, I guess if we change the wheels and stuff later on, it's not going to look too bad. Then, of course, we have the Bosuzoku style lip. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, God. Are we going to be doing 3 builds in this, really? Then we have the Origin Lab bumper, which looks a bit modern and curvy for my tastes, especially with this car, at least. Yeah, then we have that one, and then we have like a crazier version with all that stuff going on. Then the Run Free bumper. That one looks a bit drifty. That's not too bad. Then we have this one with like all race spec stuff going on, like all the tow hook, all these bits cut out. I presume for better aerodynamics or whatever. Then we have this one. Again, there seem to be missing grills, most of these, which I would say is a bit of a shame. Oh, okay. Or we could just get rid of the bumper altogether and just have a small little bash bar or a heavier set of bash bars. Oh my god, the amount of different looks that this car can have is astounding. Or just remove the bumper altogether. Oh my god, what should I go for? I'm actually thinking that I might just go for... I mean, the lip grill removal's a bit too much for me. I quite like this as just a nice little extra. The Zenki lip's just a little bit curvy. I'm not sure I'm really into that. This one's a bit more straight-edged, even if it is quite big. I think I'm going to go for that one. Then on the rear bumper, we have 13 options again. We have the stock. We have the OEM rear lip. I do like the look of that, though, I've got to say. Then we have the Surikawa, which just has a little subway handle thing. Maybe that's what subway handle is in Japanese. I'm not really too sure. Then we have the Slit Eye Diffuser, which is a very interesting name. Oh, actually, that seems to be some sort of Freudian slip in the way I've read that. It does actually say Slit Style Diffuser. Slit Eye. Then we have the Origin Lab bumper, which looks alright, actually. It kind of goes with what's on the front. Not too bad, that one. We might go back to that one. Then we have the Run Free bumper. Again, that's actually not too bad. I've started being a bit against the whole curvy look, especially with this thing going on here. But now that I think about it, it's not that bad. It's quite alright. I can get behind some of these rear bumpers. Then we have the race style one at the front of the Run Free. Then we have the BN Sports. I think that's definitely a very drift style one. Then we have Diffuser Type 1. Diffuser Type 2. And then we have like the bumperless light bar and chassis stands, which is that cool little thing there, which is pretty nice. Then we have the heavy bash bar. And then we just have remove bumper completely. And actually on the back, the remove bumper does look better. Because, I mean, on the front, it just took the whole thing off. Whereas this still has, like, the underneath bit on there. That's not too bad of a look. Especially with, like, that going on. I think I might go for, like, the Run Free bumper. Or the Origin Lab. Maybe the Run Free. Ah, mind you, it is a bit too big. It's that double chin thing going on there. Okay, for the sake of matching the heights of those bumpers, I think the Origin Lab is going to suit that better. So, let's go for the Origin Lab one. Then onto the skirts, which is going to bring everything together. We have black mud guards right there, which actually don't seem to match in with some of these bumpers because that's intersecting on the rear. Then we have the red versions, which again aren't really going to work for us, and the white ones. OEM side skirts. It's quite nice. It's not too bad. Then we have the Run Free primary, Run Free in secondary colour. The Garage Sunrise, Not really into that, but again, as I've mentioned in the past, I don't have much of an eye for side skirts. It's never been something that I've really been able to sort of like zero in and say like that's a good side skirt and that's not. To me, it's either like nothing, tiny, or you know whatever. But like my car, my real life car, my Evo has side skirts because it's like the standard Evo skirt. But obviously you wouldn't have that on a normal Lancer. But it'd be kind of hard for me to pick that in the game if I had the choice because I don't know. As the package, it looks great, but I don't know. Well, that BN Sports definitely does not match. That's way too low. And that one with a cut. Maybe that's for exhaust later on. We have the Time Attack one, and that's it. None of these work too well with it. I think the OEM side skirt is pretty much our only choice if we want a full-on kit all round for this one. On the exhaust, we have a lot of exhaust choices. 16 to be exact. We've got the stock. We've got the single small, which, oh, look, even changes all the bit underneath, all the hanging that's going on there. Look at that. Look at the difference. That's fantastic. The detail in this is insane. Then we have the medium style exhaust. Oh, here we go. That's my sort of thing. Then the large. I do like a big exhaust. Then we have the turn down exhaust. We have the small twin pipe. We have the straight pipe. How does this look underneath with the changes? Oh, look at that. He has all the back box got rid of. All of this back here. Oh, see, look, these ones have resonators and stuff, but the straight through is just straight through. That detail carries on throughout the whole underneath. This thing is amazing. Then we have the shotgun exhaust, which does actually seem to glitch through this bumper again, which is not that great. Same for the long one. We have the star exhaust, which is proper Bossisoku style. That was actually kind of like drift showy style. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would choose that just for the unique and, you know, uniqueness and differentness. Although Bossisoku style would probably also have these like sticking up in a victory pipe style. We have the heart exhaust. Interesting. Then we have the short Bossisoku. There we go, the victory pipes. And then the full-on victory pipes. Good God. Then the painted victory pipes. Oh my God. Oh, I'm really going to have to build a Bossisoku one in a minute. Then we have the side exhaust ones for if you've got the matching side skirts, which we do not at this time. Oh, look, it even changes this. So awesome. And then the twin side that comes out there, which actually still sort of works almost, but no, it's sticking out a bit too much. I mean, for this one, if we're going to go for like a nice fun style, maybe I'm going to go for the star exhaust, because when are we going to use that again? Let's move on to the chassis now. So we have the stock, then we have the half cage, just nice simple. Half cage number 2, just a little bit extra being added on right there. Then we have the full cage going around to the front. That's just like avoiding the dash in this case. We have full cage 2. Oh God, I really should... I'd never know where to look in this thing. Let's just switch between the two. When does that change? They look the same. Oh, and then we also have race cage, which is just everything and actually going through, which sort of doesn't look right because we got the vents in. It would have been nice if there was something that, you know, that just looks like the game glitched it in rather than actual real life things. So I think let's just go for a nice basic half cage 2, shall we? Mind you, if we're going to make this a bit more insane, let's just go for the full cage. Then, onto the grille. We have 13 selections for grille, for God's sake. We have the standard stock Levin grille with the plastic cover on it. Then we have the remove grille, which has also still got the lights in it. Then we have the stock grille in gold. Oh, this is a nice little change. What's that changing underneath there? It's changing something. Oh! Okay, stock grille also had this oil cooler thing going on. And then it gets rid of it. Oh, right. Okay, well, whatever. Then we have the Louvre grill. Yeah, I think I prefer this plastic Levin style one rather than the whole, like, proper grill style. Although I do like a good grill. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Then we have that one with the gold badge, different Toyota badge, which is pretty nice. Then we have the D-badge version, the silver cut one, which just cuts out the light things. Then we have the gold badge version, D-badge version, painted. Oh my God. That's very 80s, actually. I'm sort of, my 80s tuning style brain kind of likes that in a way, but it doesn't really match the rest of it. But I'm quite feeling that, to be honest. And then we have the painted louvers on, which I'm not really into. And then just a solid flat grille, which actually makes it look like a Proton in a way. I quite like that, but I don't know. Maybe I should just go for the stock one with the gold badging on it. Actually, let's just go for the one with the Toyota thing, just to be a little bit different. Then on the hood, we have 12 different selections. We've got the nice, beautiful standard. Then we have the carbon fiber bonnet with the bonnet pins. We have the Origin Lab bonnet right here. Let's just try and find a better place to look at that. There we go. We have the CF Origin Lab bonnet, which is just the carbon fiber version. D-Max bonnet 1, D-Max bonnet 2, D-Max bonnet 3. We have the carbon fiber D-Max bonnet. We have the Good Line bonnet, which actually not too bad considering some of the other ones are pretty out there. Then we have the carbon fiber version of that one. Then we have, oh, look at this, the Bosusoku style bonnet, which means we must be able to change the wings as well. We can make a full-on Bosusoku style car with this completely. And then we have removed hood, which actually I quite like. I quite like that nice little extra. If we're going to make this in sort of like a rough tunery, I don't know what style I'm really going for here, to be honest, because we've got a decent sized cage, we've got star exhaust, and then the Toyota thing, and the, I don't know what style I'm going for here, to be honest. This is a pretty big mismatch of parts right now. Anyway, I'm just going to leave that off because I love the look of that engine right now. Then on the fenders, good God, we've got 16 different fender choices. We've got stock, we got rolled. I mean, it just sticks out more than that thing. I assume there must be some bumpers that matches. Then we have the secondary colour one. We have that one with an offset front. We can definitely use the V-stancer to get this all poking out and stuff in a minute. We have the BN Sports fenders. We have the Crystal Body Yokohama fender flare kit. Oh, wow. That's not as exciting as the name would suggest. Then we have the fender flares and front vents on this one. Oh, I see down the bottom there. Then we have this one with the offset front. I'm not really feeling any of these, to be honest. They've all got sort of like weird things going on, like a cut front on it. I don't know. Then we have these bolt-on fenders. Oh dear. Wow, that's full on. Okay. Then we have Impulse, which I've just noticed, like, you can see the outside through the thing. Like, that's solid on that side, but that's not, yeah, that's not a good look. For some reason, that, yeah, you can see through it. I don't like that. Then we have the TRD N2 fenders. Oh my God, those are 80s style. Then we have the Bosusoku style front, which is gonna, yeah, that extends that front wing. Then we have that one with N2 fenders for the full-on crazy 80s look. And then we could just remove the front fenders for whatever reason. Wow, you could take so many parts off this. I really don't know what to go for. I think I might just go for something like the rolled fenders with the offset front. Actually, no, just the rolled fenders. Just slightly bigger. Then on the roof, we have the roof spoiler. Then we have plastic roof spoiler. Lexan side window. Oh, that's like a proper racing style one there. Then we have actual race windows with bracing. And then race windows with roof spoiler. Well, that's going to be a bit too much for this car. Wasn't really what I was expecting. Maybe something just like the simple plastic roof spoiler. Although that doesn't really suit that other spoiler. I might keep that stock, actually. Not really feeling any of those. And then it's a case of engine, brakes, transmission, suspension, everything else. We're going to leave that. On extras, we have quite a few, actually. Well, I can't figure out what Extra 1 does so far. Extra 2, change this bit on the back. Oh, actually, I like that without that little plastic bit. Yeah, that's better like that. I like that. Then Extra 3. Oh, we can make that black as well. We can make the whole thing plastic. No, I've got to say, I like it without all of that sort of stuff. That makes it look a bit more like the Zenki style one as well, because that was like, it didn't have any of the sort of plastic bits in it. It was quite smooth looking. And then number 5, where's number 5? Ah, that's going to be the wing mirror. Hang on, maybe that's what Extra 1 is. No. That's going to, oh, Extra 4 is that other wing mirror. So the last 2 are just optional wing mirrors. I could get rid of them if I wanted. Well, maybe let's just go for one on the driver's side. Something a bit different. So now it's just a case of getting the stance dialed in, although I'm not going to camber or anything too much. And also changing the wheels, because these stock wheels look a bit odd on this thing right now. Let's get a sport, chrome rims. I am using the law-friendly wheels mod just to get a nice selection of wheels going. They work great with real cars, as you can see here. They work pretty perfect. And as this is an old 80s Japanese car, we've got to go for something like this. This is a proper old style 80s aftermarket wheel. So I think it's a given. It's either going to be this or this. And I think it's going to be the actual multi-spoke, millions of spoke style one In fact, even in gold, that actually suits it quite nicely. Then on to V-start, so let's go to suspension menu. In fact, we need to change out the camera thing so it doesn't zoom in and out. Let's go to suspension menu, let's change the rear first. Let's just go to rear height, knock that down a little bit, and then just track width this out until we get right. That is glitching, or yeah, it's slightly glitching at that level. We're definitely going to give this a little bit of camber, I think, just to sort of make sure that we don't get any sort of wheel sticking through panels or anything. There we go, around there. That's going to be the rear, and then on the front, we can get that matched quite nice. Let's go to height, knock that down, bit of track width, and as this is rear-wheel drive and a bit of a drift car, maybe we'll go for a little bit more camber than usual on the front. And there we go. I think that looks really nice right there. Let's just go for a nice little drive. And actually, I have forgotten the paints and the liveries, and actually I've completely forgotten the entire Lowrider Benny's mod section. I thought that we were done. This is already so much detail, more detail than I can handle, that I've completely forgotten that entire bit. Right, well, let's jump back in. Go to vehicle options, menus, customs, Benny's Lowrider mods. Oh, look at all this extra stuff. So we've got trim level, which is going to be a nice sun strip on the front, which actually, sadly, doesn't fill the windscreen. Oh, that's kind of a letdown on that one. That's not even... It's just a hovering bit of metal. That's really weird. Well, okay, we won't have that. Then on the ornaments, it's going to be all the bobbleheads. Oh, there's a bunch of... Wait, what? Wait, what the hell? I'll go down the bobblehead section. As we go down, you can put another set of spoilers in. That must be a mistake. I don't think you're supposed to be able to do that. But I guess maybe if you wanted to, it's actually technically possible now. Then onto the dash. Hopefully this is all going to be interior stuff. I can see red trim interior. This is going to be interesting. So we have the stock. Then we have... Whoa, that just changes everything to red. That is very 80s though. Ooh, although it's 80s, but I still wouldn't have it. So, nope. Bride interior. Oh, that's nice. Nice bit of bride going on. Nothing much on the front though, just the rear brides. Interesting look. Then we have the bride one without the rear seats. It just has like the bride rear door cards and stripped out rear end. Also these red checkered floor mats as well. And this changed gear knob as well, I just noticed. Then we have the semi-stripped interior, which has changed the gear knob again. Ripped some more stuff out of the back. Does make the windows look a bit weird. There's like the black bit that goes around them. Why is the... For some reason on this car, some panels on the other side seem to be non-existent, as you can see. Like, this boot missing. And this frame of the window is missing. And there's like loads of gaps because of it. That's a huge downfall. But there is so much detail that I'm sure something had to give in this case. And apparently it was panels showing from the opposite side. And then we have the fully stripped interior, which really doesn't change much between stripped and semi-stripped. Oh, I see though. The stripped one has the higher gear stick, like that, and completely gets rid of the other handbrake as well. And I've also noticed that it has this fuel cell going on in the back. Right, well, as this one's going to be the crazy one, let's just go for the full-on stripped interior for this one. Then on the dials, it just says gauge. Nothing really changes, and the gauges aren't visible, so yeah, I don't know about that one. Then on the doors, this is going to... Oh, right, okay, this is just going to match the rest of the interior, so we can have the red trim doors, bride driver doors only, and then stripped on the other side. Primary painted door covers, secondary painted carbon fiber ones, all completely stripped, showing the detail of the stamping of the panel. What should we go for? Seems this is all stripped out, but I still want it to not look too shitty. I'm going to go for the primary painted door covers right there. I think that looks really nice. Then on the seats, now this is where it's going to match for the bride on the front, obviously, because that didn't change anything. So we have the stock. We have the apparently red trim, which is... Actually, what the hell's going on with that? That's gross. Then we have the bride... Oh, dear. These aren't bride. Oh. Whoa. Oh, I think the seats are broken. The seats are broken. These are not right. Okay, well, apparently stock seats it is. But I think there was supposed to be some amazing seats, but sadly that bit didn't transfer through. On the steering wheels, actually I'm going to go first person view for this one. Reason being, it's just much easier to see this way instead of using the camera mod, because I keep like getting the inside of Michael's mouth, which is a bit gross. Then on the steering wheels, we have the stock, which to me is a perfect steering wheel. Beautiful looking steering wheel. But we do have the red trim steering wheel, which not too bad. Then we have the ATC Volanti Sportivi, which is... What is it with Italian names in steering wheels? I think Italians are just... Why are they so big on the steering wheel scene? Then we have the Keys Racing, which is actually the same thing with Keys Racing on it. We have Pro Spats Chrome, which looks horrible. Then we have the Nardi. Classic Nardi. If we're going to go for an aftermarket wheel, you've got two choices. You've got this Nardi right here, or you have the Momo. I think it's called the Momo Team. Those two are probably the quintessential aftermarket wheels for me. So I think we might end up going for a Nardi in this one. Look at that Chrome. Or the Driftworks one, which is quite cool. Then we have the Vertex Star 10. Vertex 10 Star Blue. Vertex Checkered. King of Vertex. Vertex Forever. And different combinations of Vertex, whatever that is. I've actually never heard of them, to be honest. But it does have the Sakudo Chasers logo on it, which is pretty cool. I'm going to go back and get myself a Nardi Chrome. Beautiful. Then onto the engine. So we have the stock engine block. Then we have the primary painted colour version, the secondary painted version, the 20 valve cover, and then the carbon fibre 20 valve cover with this little purple bit going on at the back with all the leads. It's pretty nice with the 20 valve cover. Do like the white one though. But I do love the classic look. I think I'm going to go for the secondary painted on that one, just so we can have that a nice different colour later on when we go to paint it. Then on the air filters, we have primary painted pulley cover. Ooh. Then we have the secondary painted pulley cover and then the carbon fibre pulley cover. I want the non-pulley cover. I just want it all gone. I want exposed pulleys. Where's that option? Well, we'll just go for the carbon fibre. Why not? Then on the fittings, we have some bracing. Got a simple aluminium brace, carbon fibre brace, and a 3-point brace. I'm going to go for a nice 3-point. Actually, I'm already sick of the pulley cover, so I'm going to go and change that to secondary as well. Then on the arch covers, what is this? This is actually light stuff. We've got painted eyelids. We've got duct tape eyelids. I wonder if this is doing anything to the back as well. Okay, nothing so far. But it makes me think, because I've seen some rare things in this. I think these might change both at the same time. Then we have this with, again, that must be the rear covers one. Aha! There we go. Then we have the yellow headlights. I'm a big fan of yellow headlights, although yellow reflection of bulbs in the glass is much better than just yellow on the lens, in my opinion. Then we have that one with a single rear cover. That's kind of weird. Mind you, no weirder than just having one wing mirror, I guess. Then the coloured light covers. That's quite cool. I mean, that would really go with like the full-on thing that got rid of the lights on the bumper and then also having the smooth grille. We might go for that one in the Bosozoku one in a second. Then we have this one with, I guess, matching rear covers. Oh, wow. Okay. Then we have carbon fibre headlight covers. Stealth light covers. How's that difference from the... This one has like full-on blue, whereas the other one has the black that actually matches with the rest of the grille thing. Then we have the single light duct. And then we have the twin light ducts. I can't believe how much detail is in this. It's just amazing. Well, I really like all of them, I've got to say. I don't know if I should just go for stock or whether I go for the stock with the one... I'm going to go for that. With like the one duct going through. I mean, if we actually look, there's no real duct there, but... Oh well, it's a nice little look. Onto the aerials, which is actually going to be rally lights. So we have... How many styles we've got? Like drift style, street style, Bosozoku style, rally style. Good God. There's also like the stock car style as well with like all the bumpers and stuff missing. Then we had the bumper mounted. Oh, that is cool. Now that is cool. That's kind of meh. That's sort of that is cool. And actually so's that as well. And then we have the small square. Oh, that's like the is he called Takumi? I'm going to be so inundated by people angering me for not having ever watched Initial D. I'm so sorry. I'm just not an anime fan. But I'm pretty sure that is the type that is on the classic Tofu delivery Tirreno. But I could be wrong. But I do like some yellow fog, so I'm actually going to go for that. Then on the trim, we have the Louvres. Oh, I'm a big fan of these. Yes. Let's just go for some of that. Or the plastic version, which is actually even better. Ooh, I'm going to go for it. Sod it. Then on the doors, we have some wind deflectors. We have the carbon fibre wind deflector and OEM mirror visor, which would actually work if I had wing mirrors on both sides there. Then we have the plastic RX-7 FC mirrors. Whoa, they're not nice. Then we have the painted versions, and we have the CF racing mirrors. Oh, they would match this car quite nicely, actually. And also the window net. I'm going to go for the racing mirrors on that one. And then for livery, good God, we are almost finished. I'm not going to like go through my settings for each one. I think I'm just going to finish this one, and then I'm going to build some, like a few more builds afterwards in my own time, and then edit it at the end, just to show you my completed builds, because this video is already incredibly long. So let's just get through this. So we have the stock. We have stock with black bumpers, which would look a lot better if we didn't have the pearlescent thing going on. Let's just go ahead and change that right away. Okay, I've dropped the metallic colouring, but I've noticed that the blue has stayed because that's obviously the secondary colour. That seems to have stayed on the bumpers. The bumpers appear to be secondary colour. So that seems to actually render the whole stock black bumpers thing useless, I think. Because I could just make the secondary colour black, and that would be that solved. But anyway, we have that one. It's actually got a full two-tone as well going underneath, so I guess we could use that and then paint the top part of the bumpers. We have the Panda two-tone, which is definitely like the Tofu delivery car. Black limited decals. Bosozoku style, which actually, what does that do? What is that? Is that? I guess that would probably work with the Bosozoku style bumpers and stuff, but it doesn't really work for this. Then we have Advan. Ooh, now this I like. This I like very much. I do like how that looks, although I'm not really feeling the still white engine bay. It would have been nice if that could have been tied to secondary or something. Then we have the Trust. Ooh, I think we might have to put a bonnet on, just so we can get the full effect of this one. Although no spoiler colour. Bit weird, but I do like how that looks. Then we have Bride going on as well. Oh, that's nice. It just looks same style as what you get on the seats. Do like that. Then we have the Garage Thrash Racing. The Zokusha style one, whatever Zokusha style is, by Artistraw, however you like to say that. Still a nice look though, looks really cool. Then we have another livery, nice Japanese flag going on there. Then we have the Toyota Gradient. Ooh, that's nice and 80s as well. I can get behind that. Then we have the Auto Parts Rally style one. Yeah, I mean, once we could easily change the secondary colour to match all this, so ignore the blue, that's fine. But that's amazing, I like that one. But then we have the TRD Rally. Again, beautiful looking. TRD N2, which is definitely going to match if you had the proper parts. Some of these liveries definitely match you and require you to have specific parts on it. Then we have this version, the hot version. Then we have the BN Sports one. Then we have, and actually you can see there that I think that would work better if we had the BN Sports side skirts on it as well. Then we have another one, Artisan. We have 326 Power NA Works. Looks really nice. ITC A Walsh Motorsports. Then we have an Itasha style one. I was actually going to do a video just featuring loads of Itasha cars. Not sure if anyone was interested in that. I'm not really interested myself, but it was always a thing that I think you guys would like, so I thought I'd give it a try and check it out. Because I still think it's kind of weird. But, yeah. It's alright. Then we had the D1 GP D-Max thing going on here. Proper full-on style right here. Then we have the D1 GP Sunrise one. It's also got a nice tinted rear window in yellow. And on the rear as well. That's not too bad. Quite like that. And then we have the Autobacks Terazaki, which is just a full-on style. I'm not even going to pretend to know what some of this stuff is, because my katakana reading skills are terrible. Autobacks. Okay, I've got the Autobacks bit. And then the rest of it is kanji. Oh, there's a little bit more here. Oh, God, no, it's gone. I can't remember anymore. It's been a long time since I tried studying Japanese. And that's all of those done. So I think, let's just go back and find something that matches this. And actually, to be honest, I really like this Trust style, but I'm a bit saddened by the fact that that rear spoiler does not match. So I think I'm going to go for the advert. Oh, mind you, that doesn't match either. God damn it. Well, let's just give this a try first. I'm going to go for the Trust one. I'm going to put the bonnet back on. I'm going to just stick that as a stock hood. Oh, look at that. We were missing out on some beautiful livery extras there. That's nice. Ah, yes, of course. I could also have this in the primary and secondary colour. Although, that definitely doesn't match on the secondary. Yeah, actually, the reflections are kind of off. And even when I tried to change it to a very similar purple, it's still not exactly right. But do you know what? I'm just going to keep that Shafter purple or something like Spinnaker purple. It looks pretty close. I think you can get the idea of how I wanted that build to look. And there we go. Look at that. Absolute beauty. Right, so I'm not going to go ahead and show you the build of me changing all the other ones. But I'm going to now build myself a Bosozoku style one. and then one that I would own in real life. I'm going to make what I would think is my perfect Levin, considering the parts that I have. Obviously, I might actually change it slightly if I had different parts in real life, but let's just go ahead and make those other two versions. Okay, so I've built my Bosozoku style one. It went a bit weird. I was running through my thought process here. I went with the red interior because I feel like Bosozoku style cars, like, they would be like dated old cars from the 80s, and they would have these sort of weird options on them, as cars did in the 80s, and they would have left them in there. So I tried to match it with the red seats, although they're not really the greatest. It would have been nice with just the original seats in it, but I've gone for the red interior and everything else there, and then I've just gone for bright green outside, and I've also got rid of all the lights. I've gone for the smooth grille. I've gone for the Bosozoku extended wings, bonnet. I've got the huge, massive bumper. I tried to go for the smallest wheels I could. I couldn't really find anything that matched, but I just went for the smallest and just cambered them and tuck them in, and then I've gone for the Bosozoku wing on the back. I've gone for the lights like that. There's no Bosozoku style rear bumpers, so I just went for the biggest one, and then we have the victory pipes, and of course the louvers, because why the hell not? Definitely a weird look. Definitely didn't turn out anywhere near as nice as the Mark II did that we checked out recently. But yeah, there's a Bosozoku style A86 if you ever wanted to see what that looked like, which I think would probably be like no one. Right, let's now move on to my perfect, if I owned it in real life, A86. And here is the third one, the third and final build. Now, this isn't definitely perfect as I would have it, because that red colour is pretty much insert colour here. This was just the colour I was feeling at the time. But I really like the idea of the two-tone style with the black on the bottom there. I've gone for a straight pipe. I probably wouldn't have that sticking as far out as this one does. I would have liked to have gone for a bit more of a ducktail spoiler, but the only thing after that was this one, and this was probably just a little bit too big for the build I wanted. But I think this looks nice. I'd have gone for the plastic louvers as well. I want it to just look completely 80s style. What else have I done to this thing? I mean, I've left this relatively stock. I mean, like that bumper there, that little splitter, I would probably have that smaller. Again, plastic. This side skirt is alright. Maybe I'd have it a little bit less, and I've put a little one on the back. It's not too bad, to be honest. And then I've got the wheels going on. I feel like I would have put most of the detail of this car in the wheels, just having like some nice cool old style wheels. With this one, my only choices were bigger wheels. I would have really have just gone for something a little bit smaller, gone a little bit lower, and just looked a bit more like it was 80s, because this wheel just looks a bit too big for this car. But apart from that, I think that is pretty dead on how I would like to have my nice, simple, effective, with some nice 80s accessories add-ons, because I'm really into 80s and early 90s tuning stuff like that. That's always a big excitement for me. But there we go. There's the three builds right there. So we have our initial first build, then we have the green crazy Bosozoku style one, and then we have my nice, quaint, normal, beautiful, subtle looking A86. I would love you guys to let me know in the comments which of these three builds you think is best. But that's going to be it for this video. If you've enjoyed this video, in fact, if you've got all the way to the end of this video, I would like for you to say fog light. That is today's word. If you have genuinely watched to the end, say fog light in the comment section. And like, none of this skipped through, none of this sped up business. I'm just really curious to see how many of you actually watched the whole thing. But it, you know, I'm not going to punish you or hate you as a viewer because you didn't say fog light. You know, it's really just an indicator to me that you've got this far. And that's it. This has been a crazy, long, amazing journey of definitely one of the most detailed cars I have ever seen for GTA 5. I mean, we've seen some in the past, but this, as far as Japanese cars go, I don't know of any other mods that has just this amount of detail in it. But I know that some of them get close, because I mean, like the Mark II that we checked out had a lot of stuff. But I think this just has a little bit more. But there we go, guys. That is it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.